Hey everybody, it's Rick OShay playing MPQ Marvel Puzzle Quest. Thanks for jumping on again. This will be a review of the brand new 5-star character, Yelena Belova. She is in the game right now, only available through hero points, and then you can earn her shards from some very soon upcoming events to earn those first couple of covers. Let me know what you guys think so far by reviewing her abilities posted on the forums and elsewhere out there to look at. I think her abilities look pretty interesting. Now, we covered her release with we got early info on her bio and her abilities, and we covered that before, and it's always early info, so things are different and change, and so we'll go over what the actual when you get her champion. We're going to cover what those levels are with the damage numbers and the AP costs that we didn't know before. So we're going to jump into that, and then we'll also do some PvP action in the Hollow Point Kiss event. We've got some great boosted 4-star characters there. We have mostly, we're going to get in Nova and Iceman, and then we'll go for Yondu, Agent Venom, and I think, yeah, we'll get in Magik. So we'll try to play all of those boosted 4-star characters, and then, of course, some 5 stars with them for some PvP action. So let's take a look at Black Widow, and I think with the, the new 5-star Yelena Black Widow, and we'll look at her abilities posted on the forums. The official MPQ forums are, I'm on there whenever I can. And, you know, if you've seen my post before, I'm probably a little too positive and bright side kind of guy. But let's go through it. I'll try to be unbiased and just get excited about a new character. We'll try to keep it even, and let me know what you guys think. Now, that said, I'm going to be a little excitable about a couple of parts of her ability. So let's check it out. So she is a 5-star rarity, and interestingly enough, I don't know a lot about what the new movie's going to be about. Too bad it's delayed, but her affiliation is heroes. Interestingly enough, I definitely thought she was going to be a villain like her 1-star version. So trained as Black Widow in the notorious Red Room, Yelena Belova scored the highest marks of any recruit. But can she forge her destiny as a spy and step outside the shadow of Natasha Romanoff? So the Black Widow that we definitely already know all throughout MPQ. So she is a red, purple, and green ability user. Let's look at these abilities, and I'll briefly talk about what we touched on in the Shield Intel Insider Info, and how I got a couple things wrong and a couple things right, or whatever. So top of the class, this is a passive ability, interestingly enough, that she has a red that is a passive. So I'm not going to read the whole bio. You guys can check that out. But at just cover 1, if the enemy has 11 AP in any color, she creates a strike tile and then deals an amount of damage and reduces the enemy largest AP pool by 4. That's I like that as a passive. That can be very, very helpful in a lot of situations. Now at cover level 3, it's the 114 strike tile, and deals at champion level, but power level 3 in red, she'll deal 3574 damage automatically when the enemy has the certain qualifier amount of AP. I think you'll probably run her passive at level 5, maybe level 4. I think level 3 is going to be, it depends on your opponents, but I think level 3 is going to be a little too low, and I'll tell you why. At level 5, the effects trigger if the enemy only has 9 AP in any color. That, as you know, happens a lot. A lot of abilities average around a cost of 9, and so I strongly think going into this, we'll have to play her for a while and talk about it, but I think you want her passive here set at level 5. So think about characters, enemies that have abilities that cost 7 or 8, not even 9, okay? To get up to 8 AP, you get about 3 per match, right? Very often, to play an 8 AP ability, you just have accumulated 9 from 3 different matches, right? So if the enemy gets their 3rd normal match and they have 9 AP, even for an 8 cost ability, Yelena's going to do her thing at cover level 5. I think that's going to be super helpful. That'll be great against enemy Kitty Pride's yellow, where she would be creating projectiles against you. It won't help against Kitty's red, but it'll also help against Beta Ray Bill, his green ability. That's very dangerous and damage dealing. And I don't think Beta Ray Bill, 5-star Thor, anybody with a 12 AP ability is going to have a very hard time against this automatic passive with Yelena. So if you're playing against her, maybe you'd have to give her a stun right before you go from 8 to 11 and hope to get 12 before she's unstunned or something like that. That's going to be tough. And the strike tile could get Yelena in trouble against Kitty, for example, unless you bring someone else that creates more specials so that you always have at least one on the board is probably a good idea. Now, that's going to work great against a whole lot of other characters like Okoye's red, like Thor's red, things that cost 9 and stuff. I think that passive is going to work really well. Let me know what you guys think. So let's look at Spycraft. It only costs 7 AP, and you can read through the description here, but she creates trap tiles that deal a certain amount of damage, and she creates a certain number of them on the enemy's strongest color. These traps will always be placed on the enemy's strongest color, the team as a whole. So one of the characters on the enemy team has the highest match damage on one color, and that's what it's going to be. This description, this power, when you click on it in the game, it'll show you what color that is. So if it's green or whatever, you know when to play Spycraft, because there's no reason to play it if there's no green available to be matched at that point. You might want to play it right when there's a match that you're not going to make and leave it for the enemy, because they'll probably take it. So think about this. At level 3, it creates it creates 3 trap tiles, and let's see, and converts. This is the big deal. It converts AP from the enemy's strongest color pool into their weakest color. So this is both great and dangerous at the same time. A lot of people are concerned about this with the Spycraft because the enemy's making this match, and so you have a little less control of when this is going to happen. And even though it's the enemy's weakest color that the AP is being converted to, that doesn't mean that the color of the weakest match damage isn't a very powerful ability that they're getting AP into. For example, Kitty Pride's red is her 3rd color. What's her weakest color? Well, it's not red. Her weakest color is one of her 3 off colors. So it's going to always be the enemy team's character with the weakest color, and that's what it goes to. Very often in versus, it's going to be like the 3-star essential characters. Their weakest color is going to be the weakest match damage, and that's the color it goes to. That could very often be blue, green, red, all dangerous. It depends on how they go. So rainbow color coverage teams are going to benefit from that a little bit, but we'll see, because it's always taken away from their strongest color. The level 5 trap damage at max level, at champion level, the trap tiles, it's 6 trap tiles, and the trap tiles deal 6386 damage. Guys, that is huge. Do not overlook that. That is the potential for awesome damage. And on any board, there is, at any average board, there's around 9 of each color. That's an average, and then of course as you go through, you start matching away specific colors, and there's less of those. So this is always on the enemy's strongest color. They might be going for it. There's probably less than 9 at any given point throughout the match, but when you play these traps and there's a readily available match on the board, if there's 9, 8, or only 7 of those colors on the board, there's a very high likelihood that you get 2 trap tiles on the available match of 3. That's huge. This thing only costs 7, and you could get over 12,000 damage from those 2 trap tiles in one, and you've got 4 more traps around the board. So I think Spycraft could work to be pretty damaging overall through the match. Let's look at military surplus. Interesting ability. I think it has a little bit of a lackluster design element to it. It's doing a lot of stuff, but nothing is super stellar about it. It does do team damage for only 9 green. That alone is pretty good to get any kind of team damage for just 9. I get it. That's pretty cheap to play against the enemy team when you have strike tiles out, or if you have Okoye stacking to that damage, or whatever. But it also destroys 2 enemy attack, protect, or strike tiles. And it's only 2, even at cover level 5, strangely enough. I thought it would go up and deal and destroy more special tiles. It doesn't. The damage goes up, of course, to 42-48 team damage. Lower than most team damage abilities, but again, this only costs 9, so it's scaled down from like a lot of team damage abilities cost 12. So what do you think? It also converts AP per special tile destroyed to the enemy's weakest color. So you could be giving the enemy, it's still just 2 special tiles, right? At each of the levels. Just making sure I didn't miss that and it doesn't go up to 3. So yeah, it's strange that you could be converting 6 AP if you destroy 2 enemy specials and giving them more potentially dangerous AP in that color. So you always know when to play it and when it would be okay to do that and when you should probably wait for a better time. So she's got a release event. She has a she's the special character, the essential character in the next PvP, and has a special legendary store coming out where she's going to be in with Okoye and Black Panther. So I think a lot of people might be taking advantage of a new character and a meta character in the same store. Hopefully that goes well. So that's our quick overview. I think she's going to be pretty good, maybe not great, but I'm very much looking forward to that passive ability. I think that's going to make her more present in matches than you might think right now. Kind of like the way Carnage, when the 5-star Carnage came out, people didn't think he was going to be that great based on his descriptions, and then people actually started using him more than we expected, and he's actually kind of helpful and scary on defense. Okay, let's get into Hollow Point Kiss and play some of these characters. I think in this one we will grab, let's see, so we can get, it's interesting that Agent Venom and Nova have the same color spread on Boosted Character Week. I'm not a huge fan when they do that. Let's start out with this match with, I think we can do, well, and then I'm changing my mind here. Sorry about that. Let me look at something real quick. Okay, I had to remember what team we were going to go with. I think Iceman 4-star is going to be great to match up with Agent Venom. They have exactly opposite colors. Agent Venom is red, black, and yellow, and Iceman is green, purple, and blue. And I don't think we're going to get much out of Black Widow in this one. We'll see how it goes. Let's jump into it. I think these 4-star characters are going to be able to win on their own. They have reasonably high levels on my roster, so if I could click the right thing, we're just trying to boost AP. We'll grab each color. Nice rainbow team overall, and take them on. Okay, so in this match, I think what we want to do, these 2 guys also have 2 different AoE abilities. I'm a big fan of both of them. I think that at first, when Agent Venom came out, a lot of people were a little impressed by his yellow ability. It does cost a lot, but it does some cool stuff. So let's see if we can get yellow going. We have 2 different ways to do a match 4. I think maybe the best way is to get the direction where we destroy a green tile. Green's a 12 AP cost ability for Iceman. We could do... Man, there's just so many different ways to do good stuff here. I think we'll just go for more... I'm targeting Black Widow first. I think, you know what? Let's move over to Okoye now. If we get both of our team damage abilities played, it's gonna add up a lot. Alright, so go for green. I want to be careful with team up and letting the enemy get ahead of us in AP. It would be super dangerous when they have a 5-star paired up with America. Chavez is really good at creating critical tiles and dealing damage. We have blue to do a stun. I think what we'll do is, let's get yellow this way. I think maybe now I should have done it the other direction. So we're doing really good on green. Check this out. We have our 12 green already, and that's pretty incredible. I think we're going to play it now because green has a couple of great effects. Whiteout does team damage, but make sure you read this up because it does extra damage based on how many blue tiles are on the board. Right now there's a ton of blue tiles. I'm going to go ahead and play Iceman's Cold as Ice, his purple ability. It depletes the enemy red and changes red on the board to blue, so we might even get a match or two in blue. That's perfect. Just getting the one match left. A ton of blue on the board. Guys, this is going to be a huge whiteout. Check it out. Unbelievable team damage from whiteout. We'll go ahead and play Build a Snowman. Get a 4-turn stun on a koi is just so awesome. I don't know that we're going to get our yellow played from Agent Venom or not. Are we even going to, is it even worth it to try here? I don't want to waste a whole lot of time. We could win with Agent Venom's red, or actually we could win right now with Punch a Snowman. The second side of Iceman's blue is just awesome. Once you have a stun and that tile is still on the board, you play Punch a Snowman, and look at that damage. 34,000 plus. Quite ridiculous. And we didn't even get a chance to play Agent Venom's black. Can you imagine winning a match and we haven't even gotten more than the starting 2 black AP that we boosted before getting into this? That's crazy. Okay, maybe we can get a yellow lined up here. It might be more work than it's worth to do that, but just gonna stun her again so I can get it going. And we got the yellow. What I like a lot about Agent Venom's yellow ability is take cover, does team damage, but it's so great that it makes your allies invisible for a number of turns. So only Agent Venom is out in front. It's a good time to play that when, say for example, you want to do this purple match, but you don't want to get Iceman injured from the upcoming match damage. After this, you play take cover. Cool animation then, of course. And so then with your allies invisible for a couple of turns, they're safe. Let's go ahead and win it with Military Might. That's a really big hitting ability for only a cost of 5. Technically, though, it's a cost of 7 because it takes away 2 on top of that black of your highest AP pool. And I really like to play Agent Venom when you get a ton of AP in a certain color. He has a passive mode of his black that destroys tiles and deals damage and can set up some really crazy cascades. Wow, we just ran way too good there. Let's go ahead into our second match. I think what we'll do is let's play this team here. I want to get, let's go for, we'll play Magik in the next match. Let's go ahead for Nova here. He's in line. Nova actually has a pretty fun back and forth combo with Archangel. Let's see if we can get that to work really well. So the key with Nova is to get your strike tiles out as soon as possible and then time things out with his red and maybe his black again if you get lucky enough to do that. So the enemy team doesn't even have a blue ability, so I'm not going to go out of my way for blue. They shouldn't be taking it away from me. There's a couple of good starting moves. I'd like to move this yellow to the right because we'll get the red to drop down here automatically for us. I think I'll do that. We could start with this red down and then we'll get an automatic match in green there, but we could get more cascade action from this direction, so that's what we'll do. We sure did. Got green, black, white, and more. Glad we went that way. Okay, so nothing to consider. Got to take that purple. We have Archangel's Black ready to play, but we want to build it up for Nova. I do definitely like Aerial Superiority. It is an underrated ability in the entire game. You play it on a color, and the enemy cannot gain AP in that color while those countdowns are on the board. And they deal reasonable damage after a certain number of turns. Okay, so let's go for the black. That's what we want to get. Black and yellow. It's nice if you can play black right before yellow and then have Nova's red ready to play. All of his abilities are so inexpensive. I'm a fan of Nova for sure. What do we want to do here? Go for more purple or get that blue? What are they going to do? There's really not much for them to do either, so let's just do... They'll probably set us up with something more than we do. Wrong. They got 9 red. That's really bad. Oh, of course. But, alright, well, Archangel can take it. It's early. So, they didn't play the red ability, which means there's still a chance they could play Thor's 9 AP red on the next turn. But, if they actually match red, they will either play Okoye's or Black Widow's red. Oh, if they have to get 14. That's so expensive. Let's take a chance. Okoye's will probably hit for less damage, and nope, there it is. Alright. It's random which one they choose to play. And we're almost ready to start. We need yellow, and then this becomes really fun once we get Nova rolling. And have you guessed why I brought Archangel along as well? Here we go. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Everybody's ready to go. Let's play Nova's black ability first to put some strike tiles on the board. They always end up on black tiles, so make sure you don't have a match that's going to take them away from you right away. Let's move off of her and go over to Okoye. We're going to hit her now with those strike tiles out there. We can play Nova Blast. Deals a reasonable amount of damage, but then creates more strike tiles. Alright, 15,000. And so what I like to do here is go ahead and when there are black strike tiles on the board and you play Rocket Man, it normally starts as takeoff, but when there's a very first black strike tile on the board, this ability changes from takeoff to Rocket Man. This is such a good ability. It sends the enemy airborne for 2 turns, and then they take over 20,000 damage when they land. And that's just such a cool animation. So we'll send Thor airborne. Let's go ahead and I don't want to play Danger Zone yet. I don't want to take our strike tiles off. Actually, let's go ahead here. Look at that strike tile damage, guys. Adding up very fast. And on the next turn, Thor is going to land and take damage from our strike tiles plus the Rocket Man damage. There we go. 24,000 because the strike tiles added to it. This is just going really well. We can, let's go ahead and, what do we do? Let's hit Thor with enemy down. Or should we just do, we have our sniper, you know what? Let's play our sniper rifle. We have it ready to play. This will be fun. So, Sniper Rifle is Graysuit Black Widow's ability. It's super cool because if you know what shape it's going to place on the board, you can, let's see right here. So, this will be the center of the, is it reticle? What do you call it with the kind of the scope shape? And it will not destroy that strike tile to the bottom left of it. And it will destroy, unfortunately, it would destroy this strike tile. Let's see, how can we do this? I think I want to go right here to preserve all of our strike tiles. I'd rather get matches in red. Let's move over here. Let's do this. This will be better. Okay, check this out. Team damage, by the way. A little more damage to the target. Do I have this right? I think oh man, it's hard to imagine where this is going to go. That's close. All right, here we go. Yep, preserved our strike tiles. You can set it up to get some really cool damage. Wow, with those strikes, it just went crazy. And well, you know what? Let's win it with deceptive tactics for fun. We can place these on the board to get extra moves all over the place, as you know, and that'll be a win. So the fun thing about that team is when you send someone airborne, Archangel will grab an airborne opponent and ground them and then deal extra damage to them, and that's why it's stacked extra damage on top of the Rocket Man. So, all right, cool. Man, everything's going really well. Let's see if we can continue that in our next match. And I don't think we want to take on a kitty team with this team. Let's see who else we have to go against. There's an interesting team. All right, let's go for it. So here's what we want to do. I want to get Beta Ray Bill into a team. He's pretty much the current meta-based OP character right now, and he plays really well with Magik, if you didn't know. Let's jump into it, and then we'll talk about her abilities. I think you know Bill's from my other matches we've done with him. So Bill's blue and green are awesome, but let's think about Magik for a second. There's unfortunately 3 different match 4s on this board. What do we want to do? Magik benefits from when you play an ability on your team, she will add projectiles to the board and fortify and increase the ones you have out there. So the more abilities you play, the better. So, you know, Bill's got that nice, cheap, way overpowered blue. What do we do here? I think we're going to go with the yellow one. I hate to give them a lot of purple, but let's go for this. It also alleviates the danger from the black match 4 that was out there. And of course, they get an extra move and another one. Ouch. Well, and a match 4, I should say, for that second one. Professor X adds damage to any match 4 plus. Very dangerous. We need to go for purple to get Magik started. And her purple repeater tile is usually just quite fantastic. We'll see if we can get that to perform well. The critical tile down there, I don't think that's going to be an issue. So let's just get our blue qualified and go from there. So I usually like to leave Black Bolt for last, or he definitely has to go first. It kind of depends one way or the other. In this case, I think we want to take him out first because those charge tiles are going to add up on the board quite a bit. But we're going to add a lot of projectiles here. Let's take a chance. We're going to leave him. Let's go take out. There we go. So we played an ability. We fortified our projectiles. Yeah, we're going to take automatic damage from Black Bolt now. Oh, this is dangerous. Every time we take damage, Beta Ray Bill will add a projectile to the board for each instance of damage. And so with the more projectiles we get, technically the better, because if they get matched or destroyed by either team, we earn 1 blue and 1 green AP for that happening. Yeah, minus 1 point of damage from Black Widow. That's excellent. Alright, so we have our purple ready to play for Magik. There's just one area of danger to play it now. No, it's probably okay, because I'm going to do this red match, which will drop those purples and separate them. So let's play Ruler of Limbo. Hopefully that goes into a good spot. No, not the best spot, but maybe we'll safeguard it a little bit. So check out Ruler of Limbo right here. It's going to add 2 red tiles to the board every single turn. That's really just quite awesome. You can get some nice matches. The enemy doesn't even have a red ability, so and now that I've knocked out Black Widow, so they don't have any incentive to be matching red away unless there's a match 4 present on the board. So we'll just let red add up, and look at that. We have enough projectiles going now that we're taking no damage from Black Bolt at all. Free matches in red. This is great. This is the perfect setup with this team. And let's go ahead and play Sliced Sorcery. It costs 13 only because it's increased, because Professor X increases red AP ability costs, but it deals really decent damage and removes enemy attack, protect, or countdown tiles. Don't forget. Oops, I clicked the wrong. I missed it. There we go. Cool animation there. Nice. And the math worked out quite perfectly. Black Bolt's got under 8,500 health remaining. And if you look at Scuttlebutt, it does 4 different hits of damage, and that's enough to ensure that he's knocked out from this multi-hit ability. Even with Professor X reducing damage coming into him. I don't think we're going to take really any more damage in this match, more than 1 point per tick. Alright, let's try to win with another of Magik's red ability. I don't think there's any matches we can do except for red there. Our AP just continues to go up with every projectile destroyed or matched. We've got 12 red. And there we go. For the win. Alright, if we didn't run so unlucky at the beginning of that, Beta Ray Bill wouldn't have taken so much damage, but that was a very good win. And I think this will be this is our last match of the night. Let's take a look here. Keep going to that node. This looks like a fun one, but it's Black Bolt again. We can take on this team, I think. Yep, this should be great. We'll go ahead and play with Yondu. He's got a black and blue ability. Yeah, let's do this. We'll go ahead and get Okoye in the mix. And this should be a really quick and easy one, I hope. If we can get blue AP, this match is going to be really bad news for the enemy. Alright, so Yondu's got just a fantastic blue ability. It hits for incredible damage immediately, but then it continues to deal damage to the weakest opponent every single turn. It's just great. And of course, as you guessed it, I chose Okoye because she stacks damage on top of that every single turn. And here's a point where you're like, well, there's a couple different ways to do this match 4. Which way should we do it? You definitely want to do this white match down here because it drops a match 4 and you get red as well. Unless I missed something else obvious on the board, that was probably about the best move to go for. Alright, looking good so far. We need, it costs 10 blue. We have 8. Purple drops green again. Lucky yellow. And red. Ouch. Okay, so check this out. We have enough purple to play Widow's ability. What you can do is time it out so that you can pick up some AP with the line breaks that it creates. Is there a way to do anything good that will get us to blue? Not really, but it does. We can do this in such a way that we can get a blue match after the case. So that's an extra move. That's a good one. And we'll also do one here. Okay. Probably didn't need to hit Widow with that because if we take her out, yeah, it's not as useful. We can still take her out with our sniper shot once again. This thing's about over though, guys. Let's start hitting Old Man Logan. See if we can get a little more team up first. Well, let's go ahead. We're going to play Ravager's Ruse. It removes enemy AP in the largest pool and then also creates strike tiles for doing it. They're not huge strike tiles, but that number of them adds up a little bit. So 960 total. And wow, this is going to be big. Centurion Archery. Complete knockout of Old Man Logan. I'm not even going to play the sniper. Watch the damage we get from the second hit from Yaka Assault, and it takes out a full health Phoenix. That's crazy. Okay, did we have to get one more match in with the last 4-star character? Let's take a quick look from the boost list. Did we get everyone played now? We got Nova, Iceman, Yondu. Yeah, I think we got everybody. That's great. Okay, and I kept it under a reasonable amount of time for once. So I think we'll end it there. I did want to get a match or two in the shield training, but let's save that for the next upcoming video. We'll make any requests that you want to see with characters or teams. We have a couple already submitted. Thank you very much. And then in this video down below in the comments, please request any 4-star characters or 5 stars that you want to see in action, even new ones. I don't have Immortal Hulk yet, but I can play anyone else besides the new Yelena Belova, and hopefully we'll come up with some fun teams to make it work. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please consider subscribing and tell your alliance mates to check it out if you think they'll find it fun. Have a good one. See you next time.